What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what Hogwarts Legacy needs to learn from Cyberpunk 2077, and honestly, maybe even what fans need to learn, not in any negative way, but just what fans, I think, should keep in mind based off the situation with Cyberpunk. All right, so this is, I think, going to be a really fun topic. I'm very excited to do it. I know this may anger some people, and we'll kind of cover that as we go. But really quickly, well, number one, let me wish you guys a happy or Merry Christmas Eve. So this video goes up on Christmas Eve. Hopefully, you guys are going to have an awesome day. A Merry early Christmas. I'll do tweets and stuff tomorrow on Christmas as well. And there will be videos, but obviously just not a Hogwarts Legacy one. So Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve. You guys absolutely rock. I can't even put into words how much I appreciate you guys supporting these videos. 2021 is going to be epic. It truly is. For the channel, for Hogwarts Legacy, just in general, it's going to be so good. So thank you guys for all the support. As always, if you guys want to continue showing support, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. If you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, well, I would really appreciate it if you do. I want to try and hit 2,000 followers as soon as humanly possible. Try and make that like a goal for me. So again, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Link for it is in the description below. All right, now all that stuff's out of the way. This could anger people, and that's fine. I mean, I'm sure all the videos I do probably anger somebody out there, right? And some people don't like my voice and things like that. But look, Hogwarts Legacy, actually any open, because I've seen people even say Gotham Knights, and that's a very fair one too. Every game, I think, under the sun can learn something from Cyberpunk 2077. Now, here's the deal. I'm not talking about the quality of the game. I'm not talking about, because the story is really good. I know a lot of people like the gameplay. I know a lot of people like the game itself. I'm talking about the state that it comes out in. Okay, so just to, because I know, again, people are going to be angry. I'm not talking about the game itself. I'm talking really about the circumstances and the game coming out and just all of this, the bad press, and not like unwarranted. Like, it was obviously warranted, but all the stuff, removing it from the PlayStation Store, some big deal things, right? That's what Hogwarts Legacy needs to learn. And so, what does that mean? Well, all right, it really is a message to these game developers, not even the game developers, mainly to the publishers, because they need to look at this and they need to say, all right, how many times do we need to have a situation like this happen before we realize that we can't make the same mistake? Because it seems like, now, I cover movies too. I've talked about movies. I mean, Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and stuff. That will be something I talk about in the future on the channel as well. I do a lot of movie stuff, and, you see, in my opinion, a lot of my favorite movie franchises always just get hit with like, all right, well, it's your time to die now. Like, it's your time to make a critical mistake or something bad happens or whatever, and it's time for you, or you include some sort of like politics that you didn't need to do or whatever, whatever the situation may be. It seems like every movie franchise is destined to, at some point over these next couple of years, if they haven't already done it, is to just ruin themselves. Star Wars was the recent example, or one of the biggest recent examples I can think of. Okay, so you have that. Games, I mean, it's almost becoming the same thing. Naughty Dog to many people was top of the line. Now, to less people, it's, like people lost their respect for Naughty Dog. And that was just this year. Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red. I mean, come on. How do you ruin fan loyalty worse than what they did? Now, again, like, are they getting, a bad rap because, and I've talked about this before, like games like Fallout 76 and Anthem and other games that were just flat out broken at launch, I would argue more than Cyberpunk, they were not treated in the same way. So it's a little unfair, but at the same time, Cyberpunk does deserve it. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve it. So it's a message to the publisher to say, all right, we can't rush this game. Like, if it's not done, we can't put it out. I mean, that's just factually what it is. I mean, how many Assassin's Creed Unity stories, or how many Cyberpunks, or how many any of these things, how many of these stories need to happen? Even like Marvel's Avengers, like, let's be honest, they could have used another at least month or two before that game came out to at least populate the game a little bit more, fix a lot of the loading stuff, fix a lot of the glitches. They could have done that if they just delayed it like 2 months. Now, I know they wanted to get it out in September. They wanted to get it out before September, but if you put it out in November, or Cyberpunk, I mean, I know they wanted, I know they wanted November, and then it became December. But if you just delayed it till end of February, right, it would have actually been fine, because the two big patches they're talking about that will fix everything, they're happening in January and February. So you would have been able to do it, and it would have been, now you would have had to download a 200 gigabyte day one patch, which would have been ridiculous, but it would have fixed everything. Okay, so it is a message for publishers, and it's something that they're either going to do or not do, but it's also a message, I think, for fans, because you have people, I think, on both sides, and I mean, okay, well, everybody's different, and that's actually fine. I do like that about people, right, that we all don't think the same, but I hope that everybody's very aware that these games do need time. And so you do have the people that say, like, I can't wait for it. I want it this month or I want it that month. I hope and I mean, I do sincerely mean this. I'm not, like, attacking anybody. But, like, say you want Hogwarts Legacy in June. That's fine. You can petition that all day. I want Hogwarts Legacy in June, too, by the way. You know, all that stuff. But if the game gets delayed, I hope that same person isn't upset. Because, again, like because publishers are either going to take this or not take this. You know, Warner Bros. Is either going to look at this and say, well, in fact, you know, technically Cyberpunk distributed in some way. Like, it is connected to Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Isn't the publisher, but it's connected. So hopefully Warner Bros. Looks at this and says, you know, we have some open world games coming out very soon. We have Hogwarts Legacy. We have Gotham Knights. We even have Suicide Squad, which is going to be like a Marvel's Avengers kind of situation, right? Like multiple people playing on a team, all that kind of stuff. Like, these games cannot come out broken. And the biggest thing is just, you know, you may lose some money in the short term by delaying it, by pushing it, like it may hurt, but when it comes out, it's going to be fine. You're going to make the money, and if there's no issues at launch, you're going to have a fantastic launch. And that's the case, by the way, for Hogwarts Legacy. If this game comes out and well, let's do the negative first. If it comes out and it's broken, okay, that will kill these Harry Potter, these Wizarding World fans, you guys, the ones that have been on this. I mean, imagine that. You and me, we're all playing this game day one, and it's just broken. I mean, can we even laugh at it at that point? I will be more mad than you've ever heard from me in my life. Because we supported the game. We were with this game, you know, some of us were with this game since the very beginning. You know what I mean? We were there when everybody else believed that the game didn't exist, or the game got canceled, or the game never existed in the first place, right? We were there. And so day one, to get this game, and if the game is broken, it's going to be a bloodbath on the game, because we're going to attack it. I will attack it. There's going to be a lot of issues. They can't do it. They just can't. And you know, I don't even like the idea, because maybe some people will say, because if the game comes out, by the way, and it does have, like, issues and it requires patches and stuff to fix, you know, one of the things that is a controversial topic is, like, do all games need that day one patch? I mean, I would say I'm pretty violently against that. Like, I hate the that games need. Now, I understand games do, you know, need it, and some of my favorite games, or I mean, games even like leading up to it, like The Last of Us Part 2. You know, again, like it wasn't my favorite game of all time, but leading into it, I was very excited. I think that one had a day one patch. I know Uncharted 4, which was my favorite game of all time. That one had, I don't think a day one patch, but it had like a patch that weekend to fix the problems, which it actually, I think it corrupted saves originally. There were some actual problems with Uncharted 4. So, like, every game has it, but that's not, you know, I don't want to be complacent. I think a lot of people have become complacent when they say, well, every game has a day one patch. Like, Cyberpunk needed that, you know, and it did. I mean, without the day one patch, it wouldn't have worked, okay? But I would just prefer a game comes out, it goes gold, and it doesn't really need many things day one. Sure, it can have a small patch, but it doesn't need all that much. That's what I'm hoping for Hogwarts Legacy. I don't want to play a game that I need a 50 gigabyte patch to be able to fix everything, and then even after that, I need like 2 to 4 patches more to you know, I mean, like cover everything that the game does. Again, publishers are going to do what they want with it. I think it comes more down, like right now, it comes down to you guys watching and me talking, right? It comes down to us. And it's just, I hope everybody is going to be willing to just accept whatever happens. Not like if they give us the game, like, oh, we have to accept that the game is this and nobody criticize it. No, I mean, like, if they delay it, say they delay it 5 times. I mean, I get delays are awful, okay? And a game like Dying Light 2, like when it delays itself for like 10 years, it becomes like laughable. And Cyberpunk was the same thing. It becomes laughable when you delay yourself. Like Cyberpunk was delayed, 5 times, I think? Maybe even more. Like that does become a meme. That becomes laughable. But I think, I don't even know who said it, Angry Joe or somebody else. It's like, well, yeah, it is a meme and it is funny, and you laugh at them in like kind of like a negative way, but like you should take that instead of taking, I mean, would you rather have taken that or taken what you got right now if you're Cyberpunk? You would take the laughter. You would take, okay, we're delaying the game to the end of February and everybody loses their minds, because you know what? They're still going to get the game. Same thing for Hogwarts. If the game, we're all expecting it, I would say at the latest, fall 2021, right? I think that's fair. Say the game gets delayed till 2022. I do think there's going to be people pretty darn mad. But you know what? I mean, they have the right to be. I'm not saying like it's wrong to be mad. I mean, I'll be very disappointed. I will, because I want to play it as soon as possible. But we all have to understand that hopefully it's for the best of the game. right? And I know people will freak out, but the thing is, I think those people that will freak out will also buy the game still day one. They would have bought it in the fall. They'll freak out if it's delayed, and then they'll buy it February 12th of 2022 when the game comes out. You know what I mean? That's what I think people will factually do, and I think that's okay. I mean, everybody, honestly, everybody's entitled to have their own opinions on everything. So it's interesting. It's something that, again, like we could look at the open world aspects, and I do kind of want to look at that as well, because Cyberpunk has taught me a very big lesson in terms of livable open worlds that I do want to apply to Hogwarts. So we could probably do that over the next couple videos if you guys want me to. I do also want to talk about 2021 for the game, but this, to me, biggest thing. This is something that open world games can learn from, games that are like these choice-based things can learn from, but just really any game under the sun needs to learn from this. And if you're not ready to come out, you don't come out. And that's I would say that's a pretty easy principle, but one that I do understand is very tough because of investors and money and stuff like that. I do get it, but I think that kind of sums it all up. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? What do you think about the possibility maybe of Hogwarts Legacy being delayed? Like, would you be okay with that? Stuff like that. Let me know. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. And again, if you guys aren't following me on Twitter yet, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Merry Christmas. Enjoy the day today. Enjoy the day tomorrow. We're going to have more Hogwarts Legacy videos, I think, later on, like in the weekend or next week. We'll just keep this train rolling. Obviously, if there's any news or anything like that, and hopefully there's plenty, and I do guarantee there will be plenty of stuff to talk about in 2021, and I'll be there to cover all of it. Thank you guys so much. You're the absolute best, and I hope to see you all on the next video.